Good morning, everyone. Rise and shine with Global Entertainment News TV. I am your host, Busola, ready to kickstart your day with all the fresh news and story. And right here with me, bringing our hope spark to the studio is
Then
Let's dive into today's headlines, fresh from the nation and Daily Trust. Today's top story from the nation: Government appeals judgment freeing ex-NHIS boss in $2.1 million laundering case. Justice Faji also held that the EFCC admitted during trial that it did not investigate several claims made by the defendant and as such did not establish unlawful enrichment against him. The court also ruled that the funds the EFCC seized from Thomas must be returned to him within 14 days, subject to payment of the 10 million naira fines. The fines were imposed after the court found Thomas guilty on count 5, which involved making a cash payment exceeding the 5 million naira threshold allowed by the law. The federal government has filed a notice of appeal to challenge the July 24 judgment of the Federal High Court, Lagos, which freed a former executive secretary of the National Health Insurance Scheme (NHIS), Olufemi Thomas, over allegation of money laundering. In its 28-page notice of appeal filed before the Lagos Division of the Court of Appeal, the federal government listed 11 grounds of appeal against the decision of Justice Olayinka Faji of the Federal High Court. In his judgment, Justice Faji discharged and acquitted Thomas on 5 of 6 counts filed by the Economic and Financial Crime Commission (EFCC), ruling that the agency failed to prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt.
about this Thomas of a team that has been on the news for some time now, even in the court as well. I feels like since he has already been found of being guilty of those charges and all that, then I feels like those things should now be resolved and then let him pay the fine. That is what they say that is going to be about 5 million naira. The fine is
10
going to
million
be paid
naira fine.
and also the other damages that is being done. That is actually a good one because you can't actually just want to commit a money laundry and then go scot free. I
Yeah.
know everyone that is actually into illegal activities are involved in all those things, but at the same time, whoever that is being caught is against the law, and then you are going to face the court and the judge
Yeah, it
for
should
it.
just be settled amicably. All right, let's move on to the next. Police officers arrested in Kwara for extorting 200,000 naira from students. Kwara State Police Commissioner Adekimi Ojo has ordered the arrest of police officers for allegedly extorting 200,000 naira from Mr. Taiwo Kayode Taye, a student of Federal Polytechnic. Source said the number of the alleged offenders might not be fewer than 3. Ojo expressed disappointment over the conduct of the affected officers. It was gathered that officers at the anti-cultism unit of the State Police Command had stopped the commercial bus Taiwo was traveling in en route to Osogbo, Osun State, at Erinle Town in Oyun local government area and asked to unlock his phone. Following his refusal to do so, the policemen allegedly wheeled the student to Ijabo Police Division office, where he was detained. It was also gathered that he was later moved to the State Criminal Investigation Department (CID) in Ilorin, where he was allegedly forced him to unlock his phone and transfer 200,000 naira to a bank account owned by one Lucy Akko.
This is actually a tragic one when it comes to security personnel in Nigeria. I would say that he is not the only person that has been experiencing things about
Yeah.
police forcing people to actually transfer some amount of money. Some will even tell them that no, we don't take transfer. They don't use their own account
Yeah,
because
they take cash.
they don't want it to be found guilty. But still, yet this thing is unlawful for a security personnel of the government and also for the state is also doing this thing in this illegal activity is actually a sad one. And many of those security personnel are into this. It is either they are being brutalizing, they are stealing, or they are selling out guns to armed robbery for money. And even all these things needed to stop. If they are being paid well and then their work is being respected and they're having a lot payment, I feels like this thing wouldn't be happening. But still yet to see them coming out to protest that their salary is being delayed, they're not being paid well. If those people are not giving what they actually deserve, what do you expect them to do? They will go into all means of actually, if the security personnel are already into this thing, that means that we the citizen we are no longer safe.
But still, no matter what, they are asked, the security personnel are asked to protect us. Why would you be scaring those that were asked to protect us? It's not making sense, even though their money is too small, or it is left to the government to do the best in paying their money early, not delaying their payments and giving them a good salary. But still, even though they are not collecting a good salary, that does not allow them to involve themselves in this kind of an act.
Well, I'm going to tell you that it's going to be in any way form. Someone that has a children that is sending to school, when you hear about the school fees that is being increased by 100% and all that you need to feed the family, and then you are telling me that their salary, even though it's small, it does not have to warrant all this. If those people are being put into a good payment, their salary is enough for a whole year to put them into a good state, look after them. Some of them are not even having a medical care. Some of them are not even receiving their, let me say, allowance, and let me know they are not even receiving their payment on time, and then you expect that those things should not happen. If you go to the hospital, you're going to see medical students, medical doctors that are involved in a lot of illegal things. Those things that happen even in school when they say that okay, this thing should be made free. You see some lecturers and teachers selling it out because all they wanted to do is to get enough money for themselves. If the government is looking out for all those people and then they are providing them enough of quality things that they need, I feel like a lot of this thing wouldn't be coming out from a professional that that they go to school for this and then they ended up receiving peanuts. All this needed to be taught by the leaders.
Well, kudos to the commissioner for bringing them out, and justice should be made. All right, let's move on. Nigerians in Libya deportation camp cries out for help. Nigerians in a deportation camp in Libya have cried out for federal government organizations and kind-hearted individuals' help. They said the condition of the camp, which is run by a United Nations (UN) agency, is unbearable. The awaiting deportees urged Nigerian authorities and private organizations to come to their aid. Their call is contained in a viral video showing a numbers of Nigerians sandwiched in a holding facility. They have been in the camp for 7 months while awaiting deportation, according to a man who narrated their ordeal in the video. Reacting to the viral video, the federal government said it had ordered an immediate investigation into the situation. The man in the video said there were about 700 Nigerians at the deportation camp when they first got there, but have reduced to about 400. He raised the alarm that the Nigerian migrants were dying almost daily in the facility. The man added, "These are Nigerians as you are watching these videos. It is a clear picture of what we are passing through in Libya today, being August 5, since over 7 months that we have been in this so-called deportation camp. We have been dying in numbers, children, adults, teenagers, and women. When you take a close look at this video, it will explain the condition that Nigerians are in right here in Libya in a place called Blackhat, 60 kilometers away from Sabah, and as we are watching the video, it is at our expense because we are restricted from the use of phones."
Well, it's a very sad and
One, yeah.
very sad and tragic one for anybody to go through any of this pain. I was going to say that no matter how much someone is desperate of actually traveling, wanting to leave the country because of the situation, I will not even think that Libya is the best country for you
go
to actually consider as a first choice, talk more of a second choice. Unless it's too, like, let me say you are being trafficked there, then that is when you are going to say that okay, you have no choice. But you saying that you wanted to leave the country, and then the next thing you wanted to consider is Libya. It's like you are already signed your death will, that you have already signed it, that okay, if I didn't survive it, it's going to be, because there a lot of things happen. They sex trade you, and in all you can't even escape it. Now doing this video now, I hope that our government actually take a proper action to actually bring those people back up, because the pain that they are passing through now is worse than being in Nigeria, that you know that this is your country, you can still survive. But there, no one is going to look at you
at all.
You don't even have anyone that you can even confide in, that is going to help you to escape. They're going to snitch on you and then put you, sells your organ and order, and that is really a sad thing. It's a very, very sad thing.
It's real. All right, let's move on. Sisters nabbed for faking adoption to extort 5 million naira from dad. The Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Police Command have arrested two sisters, Leadway Innocent and Joy Innocent, for staging a fake adoption to extort 5 million naira from their father. The police also arrested two accomplices in Jikoyi, Phase 2, Abuja. According to a statement by the FCT Police Public Relations Officer, Superintendent of Police Josephine Ade, said the case began when Mr. Innocent, a resident of Jikoyi, Phase 2, reported to Jikoyi Police Division that his 16-year-old daughter, Leadway Innocent, had gone missing. Mr. Innocent explained that Leadway left home on Friday, July 18 this year to sit for an examination at Government Secondary School, Karu. He later received a call from an unknown person demanding 5 million naira for her release. Ade said the Divisional Police Officer (DPO) of Jikoyi Division immediately launched a discreet investigation. The phone number used to contact the complainant was traced to a resident in Jikoyi Phase 2. The operative proceeds to the location, where they found Leadway in the company of Mrs. Tina Mayowa, the wife of Mr. Mayowa Adedeji. Both individuals were seen eating and conversing freely, indicating no sign of distress, he added. Investigators arrested Leadway's elder sister Joy and her boyfriend Mayowa Adedeji. Ade noted that finding indicated Joy conspired with her boyfriend, who is married to Mrs. Tina Mayowa, to stage the adoption of Leadway to defraud their father. Police discovered that Leadway participated in the scheme.
A very disturbing, should I say, a very, let me say, it's very a disturbing news to find out that a 16-year-old girl can actually,
Plan and
or
go
let me
kidnap.
say, two sisters can actually plan their own adoption just
Yeah.
because they needed money from their father, and it's not even a change of what a amount of 5 million naira, just because you want. I'm still wondering, or should I say, I'm thinking of how this generation is going to be. How far are they going to continue like this? Because if you are going to be thinking about it, okay, you as a 16-year-old, you actually accepted into this, and then you fake it so well that instead of you to go and write your exam, you decided that you needed to accept into this kind of a scheme with your sister to be kidnapped, and be demanded money from your dad. It's not
Like,
making sense.
at
This
all.
generation is getting out of hand, and I wonder how present parents, how they are going to actually kick into this and then try to prevent some certain damage in the
From
future
happening.
from happening.
Yeah, it's well. All right, so our top story from Daily Trust. NSCDC arrests truck loaded with vandalized street light poles. The truck was on its way to Kano when it was intercepted by the Command's Critical National Assets and Infrastructure (CNAI) team around Jabi Axis of Abuja. The spokesperson of the command, Monica Ojobi, said in a statement on Tuesday. Luck ran out on them as they were flagged down by the command's crack squad on a routine patrol, the statement said, explaining that rather than stop to give the needed explanation, the driver of the truck, including his motorboy, fled and abandoned the truck containing the suspected vandalized item which gave room for more suspicion that led to the impoundment and towing of the truck to the command. Commenting on the arrest, the FCT Commandant Olusola Odumosu condemned the activities of vandals who are busy sabotaging government efforts in providing necessary social amenities for the people, especially in the Federal Capital Territory (FCT).
Um, we have been talking about this sort of vandalism over every around the country and all that, and then we are still wondering why it still keep
Keep happening.
happening. A lot we needed to caution ourselves in, and we have to actually be in a working system. If we are trying to hold the government responsible, accountable for their on the way they are leading us out, the way they are trying to lead the country, and then we are condemning them. We also need to look at the way we are doing things, because if their government is ready to actually provide a street light in where it knows that it's needed, and then you as an individual, or as, let me say, as a citizen, is also trying to stole it and sell it out to other parts, is as if that the greediness in you would not stop anytime soon. And thank God, thanks to the
Hence, SCB.
NSDC for their work, and I feel like more of these people needed to be brought to book, and then
Yeah.
allow them to face the wrath of the Lord, so that they can know that, use it as an example for the other, and then they will know that this thing is not done that way.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so our next top story. WAEC record worst results in 5 years. The results released yesterday indicated that out of the 1,969,313 candidates who sat for the examination, only 754,545 candidates, representing 38.32%, obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. It would be recalled that during this year's exam, some schools adopted the computer-based test method, while others opted for the paper-based test method. The head of Nigerian office (HNO) of WAEC, Amos Damot, who announced the release of the results during a media briefing at the examination body's headquarters in Lagos, stated that this year's results showed a 33.8% decrease in performance compared to 72.12 per record last year. He stated the results of 192,089 candidates, representing 9.75% of the total number of candidates, were withheld over various reported cases of malpractice. According to him, the figure represented a 2.17% decline compared to the 11.92% recorded in the 2024 edition of the same examination. He said that 1,973,365 candidates registered for the examination from 23,554 recognized secondary schools in Nigeria, but 1 million candidates sat for the examination.
A very sad one. Let me just put it like that. A very very sad one. That at this time around, that there's
Things are
all
hard.
we have the same experiences when it comes to jam, and then now we are having the same experiences when it comes to WAEC. There was this guy then that actually made this statement that since everything that one of the things that actually boost the brain, when, let me say, things that are now expensive, one of the things that actually boost the brain that's supposed to be the minimum of a thing, very cheap things that any child can actually afford, or any family can actually afford for their family, is egg, because that is a very good nutrient for the body, that and also for the brain. But now you find it very hard that some families,
Cannot
some
even
households
afford it
cannot even afford it.
at
They,
all.
they tend to actually say that that is for the rich people. They now put it as is for rich people, and this person actually says that we have to look out for more failures in exam, because this thing is going to be part of the thing that is going to affecting some of the people. So I'm going to start looking at it now. Was it actually like, has he actually looked into the future and then he made this statement? Because we can't actually expect that it happened in JAM and it
Happens
happened
in
in WAEC
YX.
as well. So more are still going to be happening. It is some of the things that needed to boost the brain and also give strength and all that is being withheld from the citizen. We are experiencing food scarcity and all that, food expensive and all that, and then we are having another problem to be focusing on right now that WAEC is having, let me say,
Failure. Like,
failure.
it's failure.
Imagine.
It's too much. All right, let's move on. Mother, five children killed in Castina building collapse. Daily Trust gathered that the fatal collapse happened around 2 a.m. on Monday at the home of one Muhammad Sani Gaba. The four other victims were rushed to the hospital for treatment. Speaking with newsmen, the bereaved father, Muhammad Sani, said he was away from home when the war fell on his family. This happened to about 10 people, but sadly, 6 didn't make it. Right now, 4 are in the hospital receiving treatment, he told reporters. The name of the deceased were given as Maria Sani, 45, the mother, Mujad Sani, 20, Zahariya Sani, 18, Awu Sani, 15, Amira Sani, and Noura Sani, 5-year-old. The tragedy has sparked outpouring of grief from friends, relatives, and the wider communities, many of whom have been trooping to the Dankama residency to offer condolences. Despite the devastating loss, Muhammad Sani expressed gratitude to God and prayed for the soul of his wife and children. I see this as a will of Allah. May He grant them the eternal rest, he said. Confirming the incident, the executive director of the State Emergency Management Agency, Ayiya Binta Dagani, said the staff of the agency were at the scene of the tragic event to assess the situation.
A very sad
Yeah.
incident that happened and claimed the life of 6 people. It's very sad. When we are still going to be talking about whatever you are using to build a house, to construct a building, should be well checked out, should go for the, not just because I wanted to be a house owner, I wanted to be a house owner, and then you rush things, or you are managing money to actually build a house, and then in the next 1 year or 2 years is you are already encountering collapse and of building and all that, and also claiming a life of 6 people. That is a very sad one. You can't, I know that is their own ways of believing that everything is that is going to be claiming a life of a person. It's actually the will of
God.
Allah and God, but at the same time, those things needed to be taken a precaution, and also knows what you have to use for whatever building that you needed to build. You can't actually expect this to, if it's going to continue happening, how are you going to say that this thing, what something that's supposed to be a human preventation, but you are now saying that because the house collapses also the will of God. It's not supposed to be like that.
My condolences to the family of those lives that were lost. All right, let's move on. Zamfara, bandits adopt 150 persons in 4 days. The spokesperson for the Zamfara state government, Mahmood Mohammed Dasta confirmed the attacks to the BBC. He neither confirmed or denied the numbers of people kidnapped, but said the government is making efforts to rescue the victims. This is happening as a prominent Kaduna-based Islamic cleric, Sheikh Musa Yusuf Asadu Sunnah, has disclosed how his peace committees facilitated a peace agreement between notorious bandits leader Bello Turji and the federal government. This led to the release of 32 adoptees and the surrender of a cache of arms. Residents of the affected community said the heavily armed bandits carried out attacks over 4 days in villages including Sabo Gari, Mari, and Dako Busta, which border Sokoto, as well as Tuga Abdul Dogo, Tuga Saki Daji, Sade Da, and Tuga Labi. The bandits often strike at night or during rainfall, taking advantage of when people are asleep.
Well, we've been talking about this bandits kidnapping, adopting people here and there and over again. And one thing that you read about in there about the the Islamic cleric meeting with the adopter and making a peace arrangement with them to release at least 30 people. It's what I'm still trying to wrap around my head that, okay, if you know where those people hide, and then you actually know that those people are being a bandit, why would you want to make a peace
With them.
conciliation before they can accept to release 30 people out of 150 people that was being kidnapped? Is this not an opportunity for you to actually let the security personnel there, let those people be wiped out of that country and live in a peaceful harmony? But instead, they are harboring and they're protecting those people because they feel like they come in the name of the God they believe in the name of Allah, just because they wanted to protect those people, that they are fighting to convert the entire Nigeria into Islamic state so that everyone can be an Islamic. And that is the reason why you are allowing them to keep on killing people and adopting people, all in the name that you believe in what they believe in, and you are allowing them to keep on adopting people, and you wanted to make a peace, let me say, appeal to them so that they can release 30 people,
Yeah.
not all. Is this some kind of, okay, let me even not say that this is illiteracy, or let me say that this is religious mentality that is not ever going to leave anyone out of all this. We are still going to be in this, harboring in this, dying in this ignorance of us, and it's nothing that is going to be done about it.
The necessary step they ought to take, they are not taking it at all.
They are not taking
At
it.
all. All right, viewers, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you for joining us today. Once again, I've been your host, Busola, and have a wonderful day.